Rouse. Push it to the limit. Port of Miami, important the candy. Ain't got nothing to lose. This is Port of the family.
My experience in Sase was incredible, but that was just because one man decided to give me a chance. The second person, he taught me life principles. He taught me how to have faith. We were at basketball practice one day, and he said, some of you lack faith. I was coming to basketball practice today without transport, and I stepped out of my house with no money, but I got to school to coach you guys. And that guy is Coach Emile. I'm sure he doesn't even know that I remember him, but he has been an incredible inspiration to me, and it's only right that I decide to be a blessing to another person. The third person, I saw him on TV, and my eyes were shining. I'm like, who is this man? He's talking about being the first black president of an international organization. Mr. Roland Kwame. And you see, all these things inspired me. It doesn't matter how old they were. It doesn't matter what they said. It matters what they said, actually. But it doesn't matter. Their age didn't matter. I just wanted to be like they did. I wanted to do what they did. I wanted to get inspired. I wanted to do better. I wanted to be an inspiration. I wanted to be a blessing. That is why I started Smile Charity, because I was in South Africa and I had everything I wanted. Not that I needed, but I wanted. Everything that I needed, sorry. But I didn't have everything I wanted. And it's only right that I thought I would share with someone else. Today, Mr. Fon has shared incredible wisdom. And if you go back to your place, share it with the next person. That is being blessed to be a blessing. That is what we do. I mean, look at sometimes when we go out, we spend 10,000, 5,000. Sharing 5,000 with another person. That is how you do. Smile Charity has never had a sponsor. What we do is that we simply share. It's not about having two breads and giving one. It's about having one and sharing with the next person. That is what it is. That is charity. Charity means love, brothers and sisters. And everything you do is out of love. Everything Father George, Roland, Mr. Fon is doing today, myself, it's out of love for you guys and for this country. People have done things for us. I recently came back from a trip in the Western Province. And when you listen to what people have gone through in this country for us to be free, you're not afraid anymore. I went to my village it's called Bana, and the chief said he met a friend, Bamileke in the building. And the chief said he has a friend who he went to his father and he said, I've studied and there's no job and I've been around. And his father said, so what did you study? And he said, mathematics, degree in mathematics. I said, okay, you know what, come to the village and using the maths, we would hunt in the village. You would use those principles to catch the animals. And of course, he laughed like you did, but that's the problem with our generation, is that we think there are things we can do and things we cannot do. And that is why people that don't go to school employ people like you who have gone to school. Haven't you? You never asked that question that JICAM, for example, le regroupement patronal du Cameroun, entrepreneurs, bosses, 65% of them, no long studies. How come? Why do people who go to school tend to be employees? Why? Why does that happen that way? It's simply because you think that because you have a degree, there are things you cannot do. When you grow up, you start thinking because I'm 16 or my boyfriend or have a boyfriend, I cannot clean the floor anymore. That is the wrong mentality. I don't know where we get that from, but we should really get out of it. I'm saying it because I've been through it, and I did best to step out of it. Smile Charity, the thing is, we have done a couple of things that people would think, why would you do that? Even with Carlton Trade, my business is taxi. We manage taxis. When I told my dad that I want to, because I came back home and I did an internship for about 2 months. And I said, no, listen, this is not what I want to do. I have my own thing and I'm going to start. And he said, don't t'envoyer à l'école pour revenir gérer le taxi. My uncle said the same thing, that tu as voyagé pour venir. But I said, that is the problem. And Mr. Fon said it. It's about organizing. It's about going to the things that don't work and make them work. Every business, that is what business is about. And that's the first principles I want to share with you guys. I'm going to share life principles of an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneur in French means entreprendre. It means start something. And all of us, even those who are not here today, even the doctors, it doesn't matter what you've done at school, we are all called to start something. But an entrepreneur, he starts something on a daily basis. He improves every single day. He starts, and he restarts the same thing. He improves every single thing around him. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's not once off. You do, and you redo. You innovate, and you get better. You change, and you change again. Everything you heard listed here, it happened in 1 year. 1 year. A year ago, I was an ordinary student living the life of the party and the girls. And, yeah. That was me a year ago. But I made the decision to leave the principles. The first principle is solving the problem. In life, there are two things, a problem and a solution. And how do you know where you are if there is a problem and you're not part of the solution? You are automatically part of the problem. It's automatic. If people are hungry and you're not feeding anyone, you are part of the problem. If there is a hole in the streets and you are not locking any hole, you are part of the problem. And people say, I have ideas, I'm looking for ideas, and I want to do business. Remember the last time you said, somebody should do this. Change somebody into, I should do this. And that's what I've done. What I've done is because I stopped saying, somebody should do that. Somebody should talk to the youth. Somebody should help often. Somebody. 11th February, I was watching the news, and they were interviewing young people, and they were like, the government should, le gouvernement doit. I'm like, what? The government? You are the government. You are Cameroon. I was traveling to France once, passing through Dubai, and I said, I'm from Cameroon, and he said, where is Cameroon? I said, do you know Ito? He said, yeah. I said, yeah, I'm from. Mr. Kwame here has met a lot of head of state. He's met a lot of people that I'm sure most of them don't even know where Cameroon is. But when he says, I'm from Cameroon, they realize, oh, wow, Cameroon has these type of people. He is Cameroon at that moment. In South Africa, when you see a girl, or anywhere else, when you see a girl from Congo, nice girl, you would say, les Congolaises sont belles. You wouldn't say she is beautiful. No, you would say, elles sont belles. If you step out of this university and you do something, I went to Sase, and even before I got into Sase, everybody was saying, Sobans are. Let's realize that we are not Cameroonians, we are Cameroon. If you progress, ladies and gentlemen, Cameroon has progressed. If you progress, Cameroon has progressed. And I'm calling each and every one of you today to be part of the solution. A problem and a solution. Choose a solution. You cannot solve every problem, but you can solve a problem. Every invention around us, from the clothes we wear, to the microphone, to that camera, someone decided to give a solution. And he died millionaire. Money is not the problem even. We tend to focus on money, but listen, grow value, money will follow. Grow value and money would follow. Listen to watch the rich people today. If you are doing benyariko, do the best benyariko of the country. And the money will come to you. People will travel to come and eat your benyariko. People overseas will order your benyariko. Whatever you're doing at school right now, be the best at it. And everything else would follow. Money is not the problem. That's what we don't realize it. The first time I met Mr. Kwame, he wrote me a letter. And he said, you are an inspiration. He said it to me, 22-year-old. I was surprised. I just gave a conference in Paris 2 weeks ago, and this guy called Al-Fadi, he's among the 50 most influential people in Africa. And after my speech, he walked up to me and he said, you are an inspiration. And the thing is, I'm not saying this to brag. I'm not saying this to show off. No. Life is about learning, growing, and sharing. I'm here to share. And when you want to share with someone, he says, who do you think you are? It's not about who I am. It's about I have learned, I have grown, and I want to share. And he's the same age with this guy who is a millionaire. But what happened was that when he was young, this other guy was a millionaire. I mean, his father was a millionaire. He had everything he needed. And this other guy had nothing and not even parents. What happened in the meantime? How did he go from these two? How? What happened? It's easy to say, c'est le femme-là. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's easy. Pay attention. The people who have average income and those people who talk about family and everything, they are the people who drink the most. The poor drink more than the rich. And the poor people say, that guy, what? You know what? There is a negative in everything in life. Negative, evil has existed since. You just decide to pay attention what you want to pay attention to. If you focus on the positive, you would attract positive and you would do positive. If you commit the error of paying attention to negative, well, you just got served. So what happened between Roman Abramovich and this guy? He had nothing. Well, he had something. And that was time. Mr. Roland here today, every person here, every elder here, you, Mr. Paul Biya, Barack Obama, the rich and the poorest guy, we all have 24 hours in a day. The same resource. How do you explain it? Some people decide to invest their time. Some people decide to spend time. 2 days ago, I was reading the book while I'm sure my friend was watching the Champions League. You see, reading, the difference is, I invested my time, and after 1 hour, 30 minutes, demi-temps, I'm out and I've grown. I've learned something. But you decided to spend your time. We are here today, you invested your time. Because as soon as you step out of here, you would have learned, you would have grown, and I hope you're ready to share. But the people who are not here today, they are spending their time. Invest your time. I spoke at the University of Dschang 3 days ago, and he asked me, it sounds so easy, you just speak it and I said, dude, that's because I did the difficult things. Now it looks easy, but that's because I did the difficult things. If you do easy, you would end up too difficult. If you do the difficult, you would end up too easy. It just looks like it's easy. Even when I speak here, it sounds so easy. But where were you when I was reading, when I decided not to go out? I mean, I was 20 years old at university in South Africa. My parents were not around. But I decided, no, I'm not going out, guys. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to work on my book. I'm going to work on my foundation. And I'm going to read. Invest your time. Prendre le temps d'apprendre pour entreprendre. It's 1 + 1 = 2. Prendre le temps d'apprendre pour entreprendre. You need to take your time to learn. If you don't learn, nothing follows. You need to learn. From everybody, from everyone. You can learn from everyone. From the lady who sells fish to the guy who is riding the biggest car in the city. Take the time. That is what you have. You have that idea, you have that vision. What do you have at hand? You have a degree. Yeah, a lot of people have degrees. But you also have time. And it's easy to step out of here and say, il n'y a pas de travail. When you got here, they told you that there is no work. But you still got in here and hoping that I will step out and somehow, someway, I'll get a job. But that's the problem with our generation, is that we are not curious, don't want to learn. You are 500 here, the same teachers, same assignments. You would get the same degree. And you would come to Mr. Fon for a job. 500, same way. How do you think he's going to decide? Because it's easy to say that, il faut que le frère de... Look, I have 10 people in front of me, they're thinking the same way. How do I decide? It's obvious that I'll choose from his name. We are not curious. Look, our generation, we have a problem. Let's get curious, guys. School is one thing. It is one thing. One thing among a million things. It is just one thing. When you get home, get out of the comfort zone. Your comfort zone determines your wealth zone. The smaller the zone is, the smaller you get. And you need to push it. Pushing the comfort zone, it requires some effort. And that is pain. You should be willing to go through pain. And do things, I mean, if I had to tell some of you, I have to point out some of you, come and speak right now. You got, it's difficult. Yes, I was afraid as well. But I decided to step out of my comfort zone. Why? Because I know it's a bigger purpose. It's not just about speaking, it's about speaking to inspire. And for you to inspire the next person. Stepping out of your comfort zone. And if you really want to make a life, you're going to have to step out of it. School is a comfort zone. It's just so easy now. Everybody goes to school. The fourth thing is learning. You need to grow, you need to learn. What you get is determined by how much you know. And how much do you know? I learn every single day, even on my phone, even when I get on Facebook. Because on my Facebook, if you just post your shoes and your bodies, and I just take you up. We are friends, but it's just because I want to learn and you're not teaching. So even on Twitter, I learn on Twitter because of the type of people I follow. On Facebook, you would say people gossip on Facebook. You added them as your friend. Why are you complaining about what they say? It's as simple as that. I call it your ecosystem. The type of friends you hang out with, the books you read, the TV programs you watch. CRTV, Discovery Douala. Lots of series. I don't know what you learn, but yeah, okay. The type of TVs you watch, the type of books you read, the type of radio, the type of debate you have, the type of conversations. This conversation is what I have every single day with every person. It doesn't matter who you are. I just talk about solutions. I don't talk about the problems in the city. I talk about solutions. Listen, how can we get this thing better? How can we improve? How can we? And then ideas come up, and then you do things, and then they say, oh, Ilan Chegegaba. He didn't say something impossible. He didn't say at some age something possible. He didn't say you have to be a certain size for it to be possible. He didn't say you have to be American for it to be possible. He said everything is possible. And I'm 22 years and I've made it possible, and I'm still making it possible. And that's my motivation, because I wanted to tell people that it's possible. But you have to be before you talk. They listen better. I said, okay, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to work for it. And I'm going to tell them it's possible. Maybe they'll believe, maybe not. But the fact is, some of you would believe, some of you would act, and the next person would believe it's possible. You will be blessed to be a blessing. But it starts with faith. It's about believing without seeing. When I said I'm going to write a book, literature, what's this thing? That summary book, Taprotus, yeah. I read Taprotus. Never, and I didn't read any novel, just the Taprotus, just essential. Reading was not my passion. I failed English at ordinary level. I did it again, lower city. Failed again. But just because you fail don't make you a failure. Failure is part of the journey. You don't learn how to cook without burning yourself. But I wrote a book too. They didn't mention, but I wrote 2 books. I've written 2 books now, in 1 year. One coming out this year, the other one next year. But that's the one thing we shouldn't let out of the way. Before every other thing, you need to fear the Almighty, and you need to have faith in what He does. Because with Him, everything is possible. Thank you.
It's important to family, never traffic for fun, only traffic for fun. All I seen was the struggle, it's like I'm trapped in the sun. Mornings were barely paid, no water, we barely paid. There better be better days on the way, that's on my day grade. I'm pushing it hard.
Government activities actually do encourage entrepreneurship. You have organizations like le Fonds National de l'Emploi, you have organizations like Buea Africa, which is not government, but there is a private sector. But the fact is, whatever the government is doing, there is negative and there's positive. So you should focus, everybody should focus on that little positive. I mean, even if the government is giving one chance, take the chance. Because the moment you take the chance, you will make more chances for others. And what does it take? It's about applying the principles. That's consistency, and it takes discipline. And the fact is, we start, we stop, but it's like planting a tree. Planting a seed. You plant the seed, you water the seed, and you follow up. If you plant the seed and you go for a month and come back to it, it's not the same thing. So it's about consistency, and it's possible everywhere. Everything I've done so far is based on principles that I've learned from people in other countries. But it's possible here because there are people doing things. You might think that nothing is possible, but companies are coming up. And this university is not 20 years old. Companies are coming up. Young people are doing things. I know a young Cameroonian who is 28. He raised 100 million francs for his project in Cameroon. So there is always a positive and a negative, and everybody should focus on the positive. Yeah, age has a big role to play in the sense that when you are young, you have more ideas, you are very fluent. I mean, at every single age, you have a certain experience, certain background, and it's about using that experience to your advantage. The fact that I'm 22 years, it's an advantage for me because people listen to me sometimes because of my age. I get opportunities because of my age. And there are some people who have started companies at 75, 60, 50. So age has something to do. But like I said, it's about realizing what you have, and you'll be attracted. Realizing what you have first, then you will attract every other thing that you want and that you need. The message is that we are blessed to be a blessing. Start by transmitting. Discover your gift. Offer the gift. And when you offer the gift, you gain in value. And when you gain in value, every other thing, the money and every other thing you've ever dreamed of will follow.
Every drop of a dime, I be pushing them wheels. Free at the time. I'm pushing it, I'm pushing it, I'm pushing it. I gotta push it to the limit. I'm pushing it, I'm pushing it, I'm pushing it. I gotta push it to the limit. I handle dope like a vandal off the banana boat.